Well, I'm excited because I believe it's the top Division II conference in the country right now. And, with Colorado State Pueblo being the defending national champion, knew that going in, coming in and accepting this job. But, there's some familiarity to coaches that I've known over the years in the Northwest, most notably John L. Smith, who's at Fort Lewis, and also Tim Rosenbaugh, new coach coming in at Adams. So there was some familiarity with some of those coaches. Bob Stitt is a friend of mine. Used to work with my brother at Harvard. Before I came to Highlands, had a chance to talk to him about the league, and so impressed by what he did at Mines, and I know what's going to continue on there. Obviously, they got great facilities there happening, and Chadron State, the tradition they have, the reputation they have, and then the growth. How the conference is just moving. I think just in a real positive direction, and so I'm excited. And I don't know a whole lot about it except for the things I've just mentioned, but I believe it's one of the top, if not the top, conference in the country.
So you were talking to Kurt.
Well, for me, it's I've been blessed to be around great influences, great coaches my whole career, starting with my father, my older brother, to the coaches I've worked under, from Don James to Dennis Erickson to Chris Tormey to John Haycock to most recently Mike Sanford, and other coaches. I've been blessed to so many blueprints of success. So my opportunity to come in here and really put our stamp on things is an opportunity for us, first of all, to see things the way we see things. And for myself, for my wife Carmen, we see this opportunity as a head coach's wife, of looking out for these young men and what they're trying to influence them and help them in their career, first off the field. And for me, I'm not a type of person to look backwards, so I don't want to look back in the past, how other people have done it, because I don't know how other people do it. I just know what I've learned over the years and how we're going to do it, and what we've started with in the first 4 or 5 months. And that's a philosophy that starts in the classroom, starts with how we walk, how we talk on the campus itself, the interaction our student athletes have with the faculty. And I've been so impressed by our faculty since I've been there, and then out in the community. And this community is so excited, I think, about the future. They look back on the success that's been in the past at Highlands in the late 60s with John Levra, with Coach Fred Blyle and his team, the 81 championship team, Coach Carl Farrell and 99 championship team. So I think they're all hungry, like we all are, to someday be in that position. But as I've tried to impress our guys, and my philosophy is you take care of business off the field, in the classroom, in the community, then that carries on to the field, and how you walk, how you talk, the decisions you make. And I think our guys are embracing that. It's all about competition. In the last 12 years, the guys probably had the most influence on me is Pete Carroll. And Coach Carroll, through both Nick Holt at Idaho and Steve Sarkisian at Washington, I had a chance to work under them. And so there's a template there that I've learned most recently. It really has everything to do about opportunity and competition. I've been given this opportunity, as have all the guys in our program. With that, our responsibility is to compete in the classroom, compete on the field. And for me, it's creating in that atmosphere, our coaching staff, that atmosphere, that every day of practice is competition. Every day is a championship. Every day we're getting after it. And then someday we'll be at that point. But if you learn to compete every day, I really believe good things happen. Well, I have. It was unique this spring because we didn't have a lot of numbers, and but the guys, I have so much respect for our senior class that is here, and it's my responsibility, it's our coach's responsibility this fall to do everything we can to ensure they have the best senior year that they've had, and the best year they've had going out in their last year. So I've seen it in their energy this spring, the way they've embraced, and I just have so much respect because there's so many of these young men that could have gone a different direction, could have gone somewhere else. They chose to stay at Highlands University. They're going to graduate, and I think they're going to have a lot of success. And some of these guys will play on Sunday. The battle actually starts on August 13th when we start with really a new group of quarterbacks. And so there's a lot of question marks going into fall camp as far as who's the starter, not just at quarterback, but also in many positions. The two young men that are here representing, they've solidified spots by what they've done in the spring, but it's really open competition. And so we're going to have 4 quarterbacks that are going to be competing, and it'll be the same thing at running back. It'll be the same thing in the offensive line. So I really don't have anything to comment right now on that. Check back with me, I guess, before the first game.
you expect from him?
He's a dynamic player. He really is, and I just love his energy. I love his passion for the game, and he's very dynamic. Had a great spring, just really a playmaker. So yeah, we're going to feature him in many different ways. But I think the thing you also got to do is got to be able to have guys around him that can take the pressure off him and go to and distribute the wealth in the passing game. We're going to be multiple in the passing game. We're going to be multiple on offense. But to me, it's the old phrase is feed the studs. He's one of the guys that really is up front that we're going to count on just to go and hopefully create mismatch problems, and I think he will. He loves the game. He's passionate about it. He's very dynamic, and I think he's got a bright future. I know he wants to go on, and it's our job as coaches to make sure he gets the ball. There are some really solid senior players coming back, and Don Carter is really, in my opinion, the leader of the defense, and he's very multiple. He's a hybrid player. He can rush the passer. He can drop into coverage. He's an outside linebacker. We're going to utilize him in many different ways, just like Kurt on the offensive side. I think we're going to move him around so that people can't run away from him. We can put him hopefully at the point of attack. That's our job as coaches, to make sure that we try to put him in position, same thing, to make plays. But I think you look at the secondary. We've got depth in the secondary. We've got some guys that have ability in the secondary. Again, the question like you had earlier about offense and quarterback, I'm not sure who the starters are going to be in the secondary. It's just I like the fact that we have some depth. We got a really good defensive end, I think, in Pone Faliofa. Had a really nice spring for us. Anthony Gordon, nose tackle, 3 technique, a guy that can play a lot of things inside. We got Brandon Brown, who was very productive last year, and I'm excited to see him. He was out this spring, so he's healthy now. He's back. Yusuf Muhammad is another veteran, so hopefully I'm not leaving out too many guys. There'll be some new faces in the linebacking core. And we went out and recruited some guys that we're excited about, and again, it's competition, but Don's the leader. Don's the guy that's going to be asked to really step up and bring this group along, and I'm excited because he's a great person. Well, I think first of all that these guys understand that they're here first of all to get a degree, first of all that they're representing Highlands University off the field, and the way they walk, the way they talk, and that we can be a positive representation to the community and to the state. And I think we already have been. We've been showing that, and so that's in process. And then, the number 2 thing, I guess, is what I shared earlier, is on the field, it's all about competition. Our guys will learn to compete. I'm confident that. Our coaches will instill that in them. And when they learn, the quicker we learn to compete as a team at the highest level, good things will happen. So the great thing that we'll look forward to is at the end of the season, we can look back and say, yeah, we made progress towards that, and if we do that, I think good things are in store for us on the horizon.
Fantastic.